Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Teenie Crochets and today I'll be showing you how to crochet these little carrots to put inside your Easter chocolate. So crochet hooks at the ready and let's get going. So the items I will be using is my 4mm crochet hook, and I am using double knit yarn, DK yarn, New Fashion by Woolcraft, and the dye lot. It doesn't say the name, it just says shade 108, but I do think this was called Jaffa for some reason. I buy my yarn in bulk, so when it comes to actually giving you the proper name of it or the colour of it, I don't always know. But I think this was called Jaffa, and as I said, it is shade 180, but I think any orange colour is going to do. So this is going to be such a simple design, the perfect thing. A perfect pattern for a new crocheter, especially if you're learning how to do granny squares, because that is all this is. So we're going to start with our orange yarn, and we're going to do a slip knot onto hook, and we're going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then we're going to slip stitch into that first chain to join. So we've made a little loop, so we chained 4 and we slip stitched into the first stitch to join and make a tiny loop. We're now going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and this will count as a half double crochet. So all the chain 2s we do will count as a half double crochet. Into this loop now, into the center of the loop that we created, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. So we've completed 2 half double crochets into the loop we created, which gives us a total of 3 half double crochets. We're now going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and into this loop again, into the center loop, we're going to do 3 half double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. We're going to chain 2 again, 1 and 2, and we're going to do another 3 half double crochets into the center of the loop. 1, 2 and 3, chain another 2, 1 and 2, and now we're going to do 3 more half double crochets all into this loop, the last 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2, let's do number 2 again, 1, 2 and 3. So to end this round, we're going to chain 2, and we are going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 from the very beginning of this round. The chain 2 from the very beginning of this round. So we chain 2, and I'm going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 2 to join, and now we have a square. Now I'm going to slip stitch along until I get to the first chain 2 space that we made, and I'm going to slip stitch into that space. And now we are ready to go straight on to round 2. So we slip stitched across just so we could get to the chain 2 space that we created on the previous round. So for round 2, we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, which counts as a half double crochet, and we are going to do 2 half double crochets into this chain 2 space. 2 half double crochets. 1 and 2. We are now going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and into the same chain 2 space, we're going to do another 3 half double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. So into that chain 2 space we did 3 half double crochets, a chain 2 and 3 half double crochets. We're going to jump straight over to this next chain 2 space, and into that chain 2 space we're going to do 3 half double crochets, we're going to chain 2 and we're going to do another 3 half double crochets. So we'll begin with our 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and then another 3 half double crochets into that space. 1, 2, loosen up some wool, 1, 2 and 3. So again we're going to jump straight over to the next chain 2 space, and into this chain 2 space we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets. 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and another camera issue, lighting issue, and another 3 half double crochets. So 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to jump straight over to the last chain 2 of this round, and we're going to do the same thing, another 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets. 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and another 3 half double crochets. 1, let's do that again, 1, 2 and 3. And now we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of this round. We're going to do that to join the round, and then again we are going to slip stitch to the corner. So we're going to slip stitch across until we reach the first chain 2 of the previous round, and then we're going to slip stitch into that space and we're ready to go for the next round. On to round 3, we're going to begin with a chain 2, which we know counts as a half double crochet, and then into the corner space, the chain 2 space, we're going to do another 2 half double crochets, 1 and 2. We're going to do chain 2, 1 and 2, and then we're going to do another 3 half double crochets into this corner. 1, 1, 2 and 3. Next we're going to work but in between the next half double crochet cluster. So we have a corner stitch which is a chain 2, and then we have sets of 3 half double crochets, and in between them 3 half double crochets there's a small gap. So there's a small gap between the 3 half double crochets. There's not actually a chain or a stitch there, but what we are going to do, we are going to work into the hole in the middle. So into this hole in between the 3 sets of half double crochets, we're going to go and do 3 half double crochets. So straight from our last set of 3, we're going to go into the space between the next 2 clusters of half double crochets, and into there we're going to do 3 half double crochets, 2 and 3. And now we're going to go to the next chain 2 space, and into the corner, which is the chain 2 space, we're going to do 3 half double crochets, then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to do another 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and then another 3 half double crochets all into that corner space. 1, 2 and 3. We are now going to work in between the next 2 clusters of half double crochets. So we're back to a stitch, to the place where there is no stitch but there's a hole in between 2 sets of half double crochets. So into this space we're going to do again 3 half double crochets. 1, 2 and 3, and then we're back at a chain 2 corner. Into the corner we're going to do 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and then another 3, 1, 2 and 3. Then in between the next 2 sets of clusters we're going to do 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Next we're back to a corner, a chain 2 corner. So into this space we're going to do 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets, so 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, another 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Then in between the next set of clusters we're going to do 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Then we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of this round to join, and then slip stitch over to the corner. So we always start our round from a corner space. So I hope this is making sense. In the chain 2 corners we do 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets, and when we get in between half double crochet clusters on the side of our square, into them we do 3 half double crochets. So you can see our square is growing. For the next round we are going to chain 2, and we're going to do 2 half double crochet into our corner chain. Then we are going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to do another 3 half double crochets into this space, 1, 1, 2 and 3. Now we're going to do 3 half double crochets in each of the spaces along the side. So each of the spaces between the half double crochet clusters we're going to do 3 half double crochets into each of them, 1, 2 and 3, and then straight over to the next space for another 3 half double crochets, 1, 2, let's unknot this, 1, 2 and 3. And now into the corner we're going to do 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets, so 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, let's do them 2 again, 1 and 2, another 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3. Now we're going to do 3 half double crochets into each of the spaces between our clusters, 1, 2 and 3, and then another 3 into the next space, 1, 2, excuse me, and 3. Then into the corner we're going to do 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, and then another 3 half double crochets, 1, 2 and 3 and 3, then 3 half double crochets into the gap between each of the clusters, 1, 2 and 3, another 3 half double crochets into the next gap, 1, 2 and 3. Now I went back to another corner, another chain 2 corner, which means we're going to do 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets, 2 and 3, chain 2, 1 and 2, another 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then 3 half double crochets into any of the gaps between the clusters. 1, 2, 3, over to the next gap for another 3, 1, 2 and 3, and then to end the round we are going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2 from the beginning of the round, and then we are going to slip stitch over and into the first corner chain 2 space. And so that was our 1, 2, 3, 4, that was our 4th round, and I hope you can see the pattern now. So at the end of every round we chain, we slip stitch to a corner, and then to begin our round we chain 2 and we complete 3 half double crochets, chain 2, 3 half double crochets, and we do them in all the corners. And when you get to a space between the clusters we do 3 half double crochets into them, and we do that all the way around, and we're going to do that until this is the size of the egg that we have. So the egg I have at the minute is a 96 gram egg, so it's one of the smallest type of eggs that you can get in the UK, and I need this square to be big enough to reach around this egg and encompass it. So I've got a couple more rounds left to do, so I'm on round 4 at the moment. So I'll keep going and I'll come back when I've got to my final round so that it fits around the egg. So if you've got smaller eggs, say you've got a little Cadbury's cream egg, you could always finish at this point, and if you've got a larger egg you can just keep going until it's as big or as small as you want. So I'll meet you back here when my square is big enough and we can go from there. My square is now as big as I want it to be, so I have done a total of 10 rounds. And to count the rounds, you start from your middle centre part and you count all the rows outwards. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So you may have done more or less depending on how big you want your carrot to be. So like at the end of all other rounds, I have slip stitched to the next corner and I'm going to chain 1, and now I'm going to single crochet around the entire edge of the square just to neaten it up. So into the corners I'm going to do 2 single crochet, and then I'm going to single crochet across all the tops of the half double crochets that we have done. So 2 single crochet into the corner, and then single crochet into all the half double crochets, and we're going to do this all the way around the square. I'm now all the way back to the beginning of the round, and I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet that we made, and I'm going to chain 1, and now we are going to do some joining work. So this is the front of our work. You can normally tell because it's the side that starts to curl in. So if I turn it over, this is the back of our work, and it's also the side with our starting tail. So we need to join 2 sides together now. So from the front of our work, I'm going to fold and hold the 2 longer sides together. The two longest, they're all the same. The 2 closest sides together, like this. And what we're going to do with our tail that's already, or with our yarn that's already attached, we're going to single crochet together this side all the way up to the corner. So let's do that. So to single crochet together, you're going to insert your hook into a stitch from one side, and then you're going to insert your hook into a stitch from the opposite side. You could also do this with a needle if you prefer. You could just sew this side up, but I'm just going to crochet whilst the yarn's already attached. And with our hook through both stitches, I'm going to yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over and pull through 2. So I have single crocheted 2 stitches together, 1 from each side of the square. And I'm going to do this all the way up these 2 sides. So I'm going to join it, single crochet them all together, We are basically sewing this side to one another. There we go. And when we get all the way to the top of that side, I'm going to slip stitch the last 2 stitches together and chain 1 and fasten off. I'm now going to pull the yarn tail through, and I have 2 tails to weave in. So this first tail I'm just going to cut because we weaved that in as we went. So our starting tail is just going to get snipped. But this tail that we've just finished with, I'm going to pop that onto my needle and I'm going to weave this in. And pull, and then I can cut that. So ends are all weaved, and this is what we have so far. So this is what I'd class as the wrong side, but I think when you're crocheting, I don't actually ever think there's a right or wrong side. I just think there's a side that you prefer. So if you prefer, you could always continue from here, but what I'm going to do is turn it inside out, and I'm going to use the opposite side for the front of my carrot. There we go. So the last thing we need to do is to add the nice greenery to our carrot top. So with green yarn, I am going to slip knot that onto my hook, and into the top stitch I'm going to go through this corner, the top hole. I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over to pull up a loop. So there are 2 loops on my hook, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through both. Next I'm going to chain 15. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15, and then I'm going to single crochet back into that center, back into that first stitch where we joined. I'm going to single crochet into there eventually, there we go. Now I'm going to chain 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And again, I'm going to single crochet back into that very first space that we attached our yarn. I'm going to do a single crochet there. And now I'm going to single crochet 15 again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 and 15. And I'm going to slip stitch into that space again. I'm going to slip stitch this time and then chain 1, cut the yarn and pull through. So if we pull all our loops out, we have the top of our carrot. You can obviously make these bigger or smaller depending on what you want it to look like. So the last thing I need to do is to weave in these 2 yarns, and then we'll put all our Easter stuff inside our carrot and have a look at how it looks. And there it is, complete. So that's the front and the back. And now it's time for the good part, which is stuffing this full of chocolate goodness, ready for Easter. So to begin with, I've got some tiny eggs. So we've got some Kinder eggs, and we've got some cream eggs. And I'm going to pop them into the bottom of the carrot, and then we're going to put our larger egg at the top. And they are our Easter egg carrot ready to go. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to leave a thumbs up now. It's free and it really helps my channel out. And if you make these, don't forget to tag me on Instagram using the hashtag Teenie Crochets. And other than that, I hope you have a lovely day and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.